and my internet will stop cutting in and out. I'm not sure what the cause is. We've got a fantastic company that supplies our broadband, local company, which is good, and a quick phone call, and they get straight onto it for us, which is brilliant. But because it's a local company and because they're quite new in some respects, they're just sort of upgrading things, so they're still having some teething problems. But that's fine. I can deal with that. Now, we were talking about having good days. When I have a good day, I tend to go, Marley, stop it. Stop it. I tend to go out into the garage and do a bit of work on my Land Rover. Which is nice. Lots of work to do on it. It'll keep me going for a long, long time, keeping me occupied. Simply because it needs so much work doing to it. But I've had it for a long time, and in fairness, if it wasn't for that Land Rover, I wouldn't be here now. After a hard time in my life, that Land Rover is what kept me going, because I was homeless, I was living in it, and yeah, it was a difficult time. And it took me a little while before I got myself on my feet where I could find somewhere to live and yeah, just settle down somewhere. So in that time, I was sleeping in the Land Rover, and it was keeping me dry, keeping me alive. Bad time of year for me to have been homeless as well. It was very, very cold. But it is what it is. So I keep it because it's sentimental to me, and I know I could probably buy myself another one and just replace it. But again, it's sentimental, so my plan is to get it all running right and do it all up, which is brilliant for my depression. Um, Bad days, I don't really want to go outside. I don't want to go out into the garage. I don't want to work on things. I can't concentrate on what I want to do. But on the good days, it keeps me going. I'll go out there and spend a few hours working out there on it, doing stupid little things that doesn't cost any money really. Um, it's a lot of the parts that I need now are quite expensive. So hi Tanvir. So yeah, as and when I can get parts, I tend to buy them one at a time after a little while, um, and do it that way, which is quite nice, you know. Um, and again, it does help massively with my depression, and it gives me some peace and quiet. So if there's people around, I can go in there and stay out of the way. I don't have to deal. I can't handle too many people. If there's more than sort of 2 or 3 people around me at one time, it gets too much, and I can't handle that. So yeah, um, got quite a few viewers on now. So drop some questions. How does the depression affect you? You know, things like that. Anything you want to say, just pop it in the comments below. Still there? If you are still with me, just drop me a like so that I can see that there's people there. No, lost everyone again. See. Welcome back. Looks like my internet's not fixed yet. Could be. Marley, stop. He's sulking. He needs a bath. We've been treating him for fleas, and you use the spot on the back of the neck every 2 weeks, and it's supposed to help get rid of them, and it doesn't work. So I'm waiting for his new medication, which will be a tablet form, which hopefully will get rid of the fleas. Problem is, because of where we live, he likes to chase hedgehogs, and hedgehogs are full of fleas. Diazepam. No, no, no. I believe diazepam is Valium over in the States, but I'm not sure. Something that I don't take. Hi, Declan. I tend to stick to one medication for my depression. At the moment I'm on sertraline, which it does help a little bit, but it doesn't completely get rid of everything that I need it to. What's that you posted there, Declan? Happy birthday, mate. Crowley, yes, or Crowley, however it's pronounced. Yes, they are horrible drugs, but some of us need them. It does help. I take pregabalin, which is a nerve blocker. It's also used to treat epilepsy, which is also horrible. I have to take that for my shoulder, because I've had the joint removed in the top of my shoulder, which isn't very good. It is also used to treat anxiety, so yeah, it's pretty good. I hope my internet connection is being a little bit more cooperative now. It keeps kicking me off for some reason. I'm not sure why yet. I am looking into it. I'm not allowed to smoke on camera, so excuse me. I haven't tried Xanax. I don't think we can get it in here in the UK. I could be wrong. To be honest, I don't like taking the medication. I would like to come off the medication if I can, simply because of the side effects. I don't know about that, Damon. I don't do illegally. No. No, you can't. That is something else that I've not looked into. There's many people that use cannabis to help their depression. I don't know whether it's a benefit or not, to be honest. It's not something that I do. I would imagine that it would make you worse. Really? That's interesting. I don't know whether everybody else can see the comments below. Let me know if you can, because it would be helpful. Do you find that hobbies help with your depression? Having something to do takes your mind off things. I think I might have lost connection again. I'm not sure. No. I don't tend to get that with sertraline. They don't really affect me in that way. I can imagine, Crowley. I can imagine. My wife thinks that I suffer with ADHD and maybe a mild form of Tourette's, because I just come out with just random things. However, I think it's just more of a fact that I don't have a filter. I used to spend a lot of time in the gym. That used to help me a lot. Um, but I found that the more I went to the gym, the more I wanted to go to the gym, and I ended up going 6 days a week, and I'd spend 2 or 3 hours in the gym, which is too much. That's interesting to know, Damon. I've never experienced that myself. Um, to be honest, I don't really feel a difference in that way. Um, I had some counselling probably 12 years ago, 13 years ago, and it taught me, um, they call it the iceberg effect. So it taught me different ways of dealing with my emotions. So the top of the iceberg is what people would see, and then underneath you'd have different sort of feelings and whatever. And it just taught you a different way of dealing with those emotions and how you would show it, I'll say, at the top of the iceberg. It does work for me. Um, but I tend to now, if things get too much for me, I'll go upstairs, run myself a bath, and I'll get in a bath and just sort of chill out there, and that helps me sort of get my mind around things that are going on. I think I'm very lucky because although where I grew up there was a lot of drugs around, I stayed well away from it. Um, so there was a lot of people when I was younger, um, that were around drugs. I did do a little bit of cannabis when I was probably about 17, but it's I did think about maybe get going for CBD to maybe help me sleep, things like that. But to be honest, I'd rather stay away from anything that's, you know, drugs. I don't like taking medication that is prescribed, let alone anything else. Um, I also take codeine for pain relief, but that doesn't do any good whatsoever. So I tend not to take it unless it's night time. I think we all have different coping mechanisms as well with depression. Again, for me, it's going out in the garage. Um, there's a couple of reasons I do that. One of the reasons I'll go out into the garage is because I'm on my own. I can sort of wrap my head around things. Um, and the other reason, obviously, is because I can sort of tinker and mess about with the Land Rover or find something else to work on. I'm at the moment I've started, um, I'll say, building an engine mount. So when I take the engine out of my Land Rover, I can mount it on this engine mount that I'm building, and I'll just weld it up to the right size that I want, so that it's high enough for me to work on it. Yeah, I agree with that. The root will always be there. I think a lot of mine stems from um, when I was in my 20s. That's not good. Where are you guys from? All UK. Brilliant. So I grew up in Cheshire, and I lived there until I was in my early 20s. I moved away from there. I was then living in Cardiff, um, probably one of the worst places in Cardiff, if I'm honest. And drugs there were rife. They were terrible, and all the sort of teenagers were getting into it, and it was just unreal. Um, I moved away from there then, and I moved to Devon. I've been in Devon since I was in my 30s, mid 30s, and I'm 50 next year. Devon is fantastic. Yes, there is drugs around, but not so much, which is good. Um, but I do think it's down to the sort of people that you know as well. So I keep myself to myself. I know Barnstable. It's not that far away. It's not close, but it's not far away. I think moving to Devon was probably the best thing I ever did. Um, I don't get to see my kids and my grandkids as much as I'd like to, and that's quite difficult. And they would like to come and visit me more, but again, it's difficult for them. They don't drive, so they can't come and visit, which is a shame. But when they do, they love it here. Absolutely love it. Yeah, thankfully I'm a little way from there, so I'm lucky. I literally live on Dartmoor, so it's really nice for me. Yeah, I've been to Leeds, Damon, long time ago. Um, I wasn't there for very long, a couple of days, on and off. So I didn't really see much of it in that respect. I don't think it really matters where you live, wherever you are. There's going to be some aspect of it, you know. It's always going to be available. You'll always find it somewhere. Fly in my coffee. I seem to be pretty steady on my broadband connection at the moment, which is good. Yeah, that's very true. The reason I'm doing this, obviously, is it helps me to be able to sort of express my issues. So, talking about my problems, you might not want to hear it, but it might help you knowing that you're not the only person that's going through it. And that's my whole aim, really, in making these reels and things like that, is I want people to see the good days as well as the bad days, and to open up about it, get talking. Um, I think the more people talk about their issues, the more it's going to help them and help others, because other people will read it and they'll be able to sort of associate it with their own problems. What I do find is with the pregabalin that I have to take, it affects my thinking. So I'll be halfway through saying something that I want to say, and I get muddled up and I'll forget what I'm saying, which is difficult, especially for someone that's trying to sort of have a conversation with me. My wife is an absolute angel putting up with me. I've got to be honest, because yeah, and she'll say something to me, and I'll hear every word she says, and then I'll be right. What did you just say? And it's gone. I can't remember. It's really bad. This fella keeps me going. You good boy, aren't you, Miles? Yeah, you good boy. You good boy? Looks at me as if to say, piss off, Dad. Not. Sighing at me. Have we got any questions? We got a couple of people viewing. Yeah, drop some questions in the comments. I'll be honest, around this time, I get quite tired. And if I'm busy doing something, I'm all right. It doesn't seem to take over. But when I sit down, I very often sort of doze off. And I think that probably affects my sleep at night as well. Last night, I got a really good night's sleep. So that has helped massively with my mental state today and how I feel. Let's see what we can do here. I don't know what I can do on this. being new to YouTube, I'm still getting used to everything, so I don't know what is what. I've got lots of different buttons and I don't know how to use them. What's this one? Green screen. No, I don't think I want a green screen. No, I don't want a green screen. Let's see, actually. Let's see what we can put on there. Let's try that one. No, we'll get rid of that. That's not a good idea. It's, yeah, I'm still learning. There's lots of different things on here that's... I don't know what retouch is. Does it get rid of my wrinkles? I don't know what that one is. Lighting is off. I don't need lighting. Retouch does get rid of my wrinkles. Look at that. That's amazing. That's actually quite an improvement. Shame it won't get rid of the grey. So I also play a little bit of Total Battle, which is online game. That has helped me in the past quite a lot, and yeah, I enjoy that. It can be stressful in itself to play that game because there's so much to do all the time, but I've recently had a break from it simply because I lost my dad in December, and I had a bit of a breakdown. I've not been able to deal with things, so and I was talking to my wife a few weeks back, and I was doing Facebook videos to try and get some awareness out there, and then I got talking to a friend of mine, and he said to me, why don't you go onto YouTube, get on there, get it, you know, get it out there and get people involved. So that's what I'm trying to do. I would like people to get involved. Tell me where you're from, tell me how it affects you, tell me how you fight it. Personally, for me, depression is an absolute nightmare. Days like today's a good day. I'm doing okay. I've been out for a walk with the dog. I've cleaned the house. I've had some music on. I even, for the first time in a long time, I was stood washing the dishes because we don't have a dishwasher because it broke. And I was singing along to the radio, which is something that I don't do very often anymore. And yeah, I had a little sing. It's just keeping me a bit more sane, I suppose. It takes your mind off things. I do like music. Music has always been a big part of my life from being a teenager. I used to spend a lot of time in my bedroom listening to music, various different types of music. I'm quite eclectic when it comes to music. Depends on my mood, what sort of music I listen to. Today, I've been listening to some Queen and some Pink Floyd, which has been nice. I don't listen to Queen very often, although I really like Queen. Certain songs send me on a bit of a spiral. I won't go into why. Does music help you guys? Do you find that listening to music is helpful, or do certain songs trigger you? What's this button do? No, I don't need that button. Let's start a Q&A. I don't know what that is. Let me see, ask a question. Damn. Does music help you? Go. Does that work? Let's see some answers. 30 minutes already. Time is going too fast. Can I get rid of that? I don't know. I don't know if I can get rid of that. No, I shouldn't have done that. I don't want that. I think we should go and sit down in the other room. Marley, you come in? Come on then. Come on then. No, this way. Oh dear me. Forgetting stuff. So, my wife hates my beard. Absolutely hates it. But I don't. Bear with me, loud music. Coffee time. I'm going to put you down. Bear with me. So I've set up a Q&A there, and I don't know how to get rid of it. So I'll just leave it there. Is this going to stay? Is it? There we go. I'm just trying to go about doing normal things while I'm live. I've turned the music off. People may find this a little boring because, again, I'm new to this, so I need you guys to sort of communicate with me, keep chatting, and it gives me something to work on. One viewer left. Say hello in the comments. Okay, so I think I will carry on for a little bit longer and then call it a day. Again, ideally I need you guys to sort of communicate in the comments, and I can try and either answer questions, or it'll help me give you a bit more content to keep it going, really. My whole aim is for you guys to be able to talk. I can't just sit here and talk about nothing. I would like to, but I don't have that much to talk about. I don't go anywhere. So I stay at home, I avoid people, and it works for me. I do still have one viewer. Drop a comment, say hello. I'm told that I'm not allowed to smoke on camera, so if you see my head disappear to one side, you know why. Again, type out something in the comments, say hello, tell me where you're from, tell me how depression affects you. Do you have depression and anxiety, or is it just that you feel low? Yeah, just drop a comment, let's say hello. What's that button do? I don't want to do that, but never mind. I'm not too pleased. I got to make myself a fresh cup of coffee. A fly landed in my coffee and drowned. That's what happens, I suppose. What's the matter, Marley? What? Bum, 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 bum. It's not too good out there today. Not too good at all. Bear with me because I need to make coffee. My connection seems to be more stable, which is good. I don't know whether it's whether you guys can see that. There we go. We now have coffee. Easily pleased. What else can we talk about? Moods. So I do find that I get moody. I don't get angry. Like a few people commented that they get quite angry with their medication. I do get moody, but normally because of something in particular. And when that situation occurs, I will go upstairs out of the way. And I find that helps. Smoking is another one of my vices. I'll say another one, it's probably the only one I've got. I don't drink, I don't do drugs, and yeah, so I do smoke cigarettes. I don't smoke anything else, and I would like to quit, but it's not the right time. I think I need to be in a better mental place. Um, so that's not the time. Now's not the time for that. Okay, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to call it a day, because somehow I've managed to put some question answer thing, because I was fiddling with the buttons and I can't get rid of it. So I'm going to call it a day there. I will try to go live again at some point, and start all over again. See if we can find something to talk about. Don't forget, guys, your comments are important for me to be able to move forward in the lives, simply because I can sit here and just talk crap and it doesn't get us anywhere. So I need your input. I need you to say, this is how it affects me. This is what I do. Ask questions, things like that, and we can move forward. We can get the awareness out there, which is what we need. There's too many people that suffer in silence and don't talk about it, and that's what I want. I want people to talk, open up, and raise the awareness. We've got to beat the stigma that comes with depression when people say, I can't talk about it. I don't want people to look down on me because I suffer with this. It might not be an illness that manifests like being sick, but it is certainly an illness, and it affects a lot more people than we can even imagine. So getting the awareness out there, getting people to talk, getting people to open up, answer questions, ask questions, it's mega important. So please, drop a like, subscribe, share the videos, and let's help some others. Thank you, guys. Take care.